All right, hello, and welcome to the summer version of Introduction to Literature. I'm sure you are absolutely thrilled to be here. I know I am. All right, so let me just start off by saying that this course will be split into two sessions. The first session, session one, is going to go from today, June 1st, until I believe somewhere between June 30th and July 1st. I don't think that we've totally worked out like the end date, but it doesn't really matter because like there isn't going to be like a final or anything for this course. So it's just basically like when you're done with your final project, you'll be done. If you're taking one semester of this course, you will be done on that July 1st-ish date. If you're taking two semesters of this course, you will be moving into the second session as well, which will go until the end of July. So I know that some of you are taking one, some of you are taking two. So I just want to make it very clear that if you're only taking one session, you will only be with me until the end of June. All right, so like I said, this is the Introduction to Literature summer course. It is going to be done completely through Schoology Online, unless we are given permission to do some sort of hybrid version of the course, which at this point, if they haven't told us it's going to happen, I doubt it's going to happen. But if it is, we would have permission to meet at higher ground. So let me just run through the syllabus here. My name is Ms. Holloway. This is my first year teaching at Higher Ground. I just finished up teaching composition with the ninth graders, and I'm going into a summer session right now, which will be my first time teaching summer school as well. So we're all learning together. I am a graduate of Concordia University, St. Paul. I graduated in 2019, so pretty fresh out of college. I have a degree in communication arts and literature in secondary ed and a license in 5 through 12 education. And like I said, I just wrapped up my first year of teaching at Higher Ground, and it was awesome. I love my ninth graders. I will miss them dearly. Moving on. Here is my contact information. My preferred email is my Gmail because those notifications come straight to my phone. So no matter where I am, I will be able to respond to your email. So if you really want to get a hold of me and you want a quick response, the Gmail is the way to go. I also respond to my school email, but I only check that once a day on my physical computer. So that would be like the secondary option. The third option is to text me. I would prefer that you don't call me just because it gets kind of disturbing when students are wanting to talk on the phone all the time. I'm sure you can understand that you wouldn't want me calling you all the time either. So if you have quick questions, text me. This is the very last option. This is the school phone. This is something I have on my syllabus just because it exists, but because we're doing online school, the chances of me being at my desk to answer that phone are very, very low. But if for some reason you wanted to get a hold of me and I wasn't responding through these ways, this message would get forwarded to my cell phone. Breezing through, let's talk a little bit about the course. So this is an introduction to literature course. Traditionally, for this type of course, we would go through 4 versions of literature. We would do short stories, poetry, a novel, and a play. Because this has to be condensed into either 1 month for you 1-session people or 2 months for you 2-session people, we have to go through things a little bit quicker and we have to do less types of literature. So I kind of narrowed it down to the things that I felt were the most important to meet all of the standards that you essentially have to meet as a 10th grader taking literature. It has a lot to do with analyzing text, finding themes and main ideas, analyzing character, analyzing the structure of a text, so the text itself, why certain chapters are the way they are, why certain paragraphs are the way they are, down to the nitty-gritty like that. How we will do it is the more important part. We will be reading, analyzing, discussing 3 types of literature if you are taking both sessions, 2 types of literature if you're taking 1 session. So if you are in session 1, we will be reading a collection of short stories, and then we'll be reading a collection of poems. And then we will do 2 projects during that time. If you are taking session 2 as well, you will read the novel American Born Chinese, which is actually a graphic novel, one of my favorite reads. So if you're taking both semesters, you will do short stories, poems, and a novel. It seems like a lot, but this book is a super easy read, and we will read the short stories over the course of 2 days. So really, like, it's not that much. Moving on. How you will be evaluated. This is a lot different. It's a little different than how I would do it for like an in-person traditional year course. You're going to be graded mainly on projects and essays. Consider this a project-based course, really, because what we're doing is we're just reading a ton of stuff and writing about it, reading a ton of stuff and analyzing it. That writing and that analysis is what I'm going to score you on. And ultimately, that's going to come in the form of an essay or project. And that's why those things are weighted at 60%. That's how I'm going to know what you know. It's not going to be through little worksheets, little activities, little group things that we would do if we were in normal school. It's going to be through your own individual representation of what you can do. We will also do reading responses. Those will happen at least once a week. The goal is to read 2 works a week when it comes to short stories and poems. So you will probably submit 1 reading response, which will go in a discussion forum so that everyone can see it. Those are also weighted pretty heavily at 25%. And then when I say participation and attendance, I essentially mean you showing up to class, you showing up to Zoom appointments if you make those with me, you watching my videos and retaining information and not coming into class like, what's happening? Like, what did we do last week? Like, no, like, I'm not going to give you your participation points unless you are fully active in class. This course is going to breeze by. Again, a month, literally a month for those of you who are only taking 1 session. So it's going to be a lot of information and a lot of tasks squeezed into a very short amount of time. So this chunk is weighted more than it would be in normal class just because it is so important that you are actively participating in class. Here's the schedule. I don't have to go through it super intensely just because we're going to be doing these things eventually. You can look at it on your own time. Week 1, we'll read 2 short stories. Week 2, we'll read 2 short stories. Week 3, we will do a project, a literary analysis. Week 4, we'll do a bunch of poems. Week 5, we will write our own poems. That is the end of session 1. So those of you who only need 1 semester of lit, you will not do anything past that point. You will be done. Yay. Those of you who get to hang out with me for another month, you will be basically reading American Born Chinese for 2 weeks, and then you will be doing a character analysis for that book for the last 2 weeks, and then you're done. And you can enjoy the month of August. All right, course materials, it's essentially going to be Schoology, Google Docs. This section looks a lot different on an online syllabus than it does an in-person syllabus. Normally it'd be like 2 black pens, notebook paper, 3-ring binder. No, you literally need your computer. If you don't have that, we have ways of providing you with that. And then course expectations. I can really summarize this quickly because I know that every teacher says the same thing. It all comes down to being respectful, being prepared, being professional online. Create a presence that you would want to create if you were trying to like get into college or get a job, right? Speak to me professionally, speak to your peers professionally, have you be needing to ask them questions or tell them things. Be prepared, log on to Schoology each day. That's super important. I learned a big lesson with my 9th graders online is that the people who didn't log in each day fell behind super quickly. And then I would get frantic messages saying, what are we doing this week? Well, I posted the task for each day in each folder. And if you would have been logging into those, you would have known. So it's just really important to, even if you're just popping in, even if you're done with the work, like 3 days in advance, just come in and see, make sure that you're on track. Being responsible, you know this, and being awesome. Be an active participant in class. This is your chance to make up this credit that you didn't get in school or for whatever reason you didn't get it. So this is your chance to really prove yourself and to get those points, get that grade, and be on your way to graduating from high school. So that is basically all I have for this syllabus introduction. What is due today is the email assignment. So basically emailing me, answering the questions that I asked you. That's super easy. My email is on the syllabus. And then I believe that there's some slides and then a discussion post as well. So just make sure that you're following the requirements in each folder and you will be just fine. All right, I look forward to teaching you for the next month or next 2 months for some of you. And we will see how this goes. All right, see ya.